Good morning, Harper Creek. It's time for your school news.
Due to unforeseen electrical problems beyond our control, this year's play, Peter and the Star Catcher, will be open to audiences on Friday, December 7th at 7 p.m. It will also run on Saturday, December 8th at 7 p.m. and finish with a matinee on December 9th at 2 p.m.
This will give you plenty of time to invite your whole family to come and see the story of how an orphan boy became Peter Pan and gained his arch nemesis, Captain Hook. The cast hopes to see you there.
This Sunday is Veterans Day, a day in which we remember those who have served in the armed forces. Here's a special segment honoring those who have served and are serving our country right now.
Hey, I'm Mr. Quick. I'm standing down here in Varsity Hall in front of the Military Hall of Fame. This Sunday's Veterans Day, and it's going to be celebrated on Monday. And national holiday, no mail, or all the federal buildings will be closed on Monday. We still have to be here at school though. And Veterans Day is a day that we honor and remember all our veterans. And here at Harper Creek we have this wall, and there's over 200 names on this of Harper Creek kids that have graduated from here. It goes all the way back to the first graduating class in 1960. And if you know of anybody that should be on this wall, whether it's an older brother, parent, uncle, aunt, whoever, get the information to me. I'll make sure it gets up here. On top of our Military Hall of Fame, we have pictures of 4 former students who were killed in combat while serving their country, 3 in Vietnam and 1 in the war in Iraq. And actually, there's a new American Legion post in Emmett Township that just formed and uses the name, and they're formed with the name Michael Dickinson. And it's a great honor to have an American Legion post named after you. And we have one here of former Harper Creek student. But those are the 4 pictures that you see on top of our Military Hall of Fame. So remember, this Sunday and Monday, you can do it either day. Make sure you thank a veteran. Thank you.
I would like to thank my great-grandfather, my 3 grandfathers, 4 uncles, stepdad, and all those who serve our American ideals. They all served in different branches from the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Some gave life, some gave limb, but they all gave heart and time and freedom.
My dad served in the Navy. He was a field medic. He also worked for the Marines too.
My dad served in the Marines. I'd like to thank all the vets that served.
I was in the Air Force, and he served in Vietnam, and I'd like to thank all the veterans for serving.
My dad served in World War II on board the aircraft carrier Enterprise, and my son served as a Marine in Afghanistan.
Thank my family for serving in the military, same with my grandpa who served in World War II in Korea, same with my dad who served in the late Cold War. My mom served in Desert Storm in the early 90s, and I thank you for my family for serving.
Hi, Mrs. Carlson here, wishing everyone a happy Veterans Day, especially to my husband who served in the Navy for 24 years and my son who is currently serving in the Navy.
Hey, my Uncle James served in the United States Army for 39 years as a combat medic.
My cousins Matt and Rachel have been in the Army for over 20 years.
This is Eckert, and I want to thank all the veterans who have served our country and let us celebrate every day with all the freedoms we enjoy. And I also wanted to recognize my nephew, James H. Miller IV, who is not a veteran because he died in Iraq in 2005. And we had huge midterm elections, lots of people participating, and I'm grateful for that because he died delivering election supplies to Ramadi, Iraq for the first free election there they ever had. It was a volunteer mission, and their Hummer ran over an SUV. And so he is not here to meet his niece. He wasn't here to celebrate my son's wedding, and I am grateful that he was willing to go to Iraq for our country. Thank you.
My grandpa served in the Air Force, and I'd like to thank all the veterans who have served.
My name's Guy Ponamata. Both of my parents served in the Marines. My dad was in Desert Storm in the liberation of Kuwait, and my mom was in Japan.
My father was in the Marines and my grandmother was in the Navy.
My grandpa served in Vietnam. My uncle is serving in the Coast Guard for 8 more years.
Hi, I'd like to thank all of the veterans and all of the active duty soldiers who are in service for us. I have several family members who were in the service ranging from World War II to the Vietnam War for my uncles. And then my nephew is in the Army and he flies drones, and I also have a cousin who's in the Navy.
My uncle served in the military, and I'd like to thank all the veterans for serving.
My grandfather served in World War II as a radio operator in the Navy.
Hi, my nephew Evan is currently serving in the United States Army. He served a year in Iraq and currently is waiting to be deployed again, but this time to Afghanistan.
I'm Mrs. Alday, if you don't know me, and my husband served in the Army. We were stationed out at Fort Stewart, Georgia for 5 years. He did 2 tours to Iraq during that time, so he was gone for 12 months and for 15 months. So I just want to thank all the veterans out there because I know how much they sacrifice, and I want to thank their families, so their wives, their children, their mothers, their fathers, because it's hard saying goodbye to those loved ones, but what they do is very important.
My dad was in the Army, and my grandfather was in the Navy, and he died recently.
And I would like to thank my parents for both serving in the Marines.
Hi, this is Mrs. DeMoss, and I would like to say Happy Veterans Day to all of the veterans. I am blessed to have 2 veterans in my life. My son, Storm Nicholas Avery, is a veteran of the Marine Corps, and my first husband, Gunnery Sergeant Nicholas James Avery, he spent 24 years in the Marine Corps. An interesting fact about my son Storm is his dad was in Operation Desert Storm and Operation Iraqi Freedom, and that is how my son Storm got his name. Thank you again for serving our great country, and God bless America.
Thank you to all of our veterans.
Hi, this is Mrs. Shaw, and I just want to say thank you to all of our veterans. For those of you that don't know, my husband has been serving in the Army for 17 years, and I appreciate all that he does and all that our military men and women do, and I'd like to thank them.
Hi, first of all I want to start by saying thank you to our veterans, past, present, and those of you who are considering service in our armed forces. That's a great way to serve something greater than yourself. So my family connection most directly is through my dad. My dad served in Vietnam. He's a graduate of Harper Creek too in 1968, so I'm proud to say he's on our military wall. He ended up being an E5 and served a tour of Pleiku in Vietnam with 1st Aviation Brigade. So I'm very, very proud of my father and his service to our country.
There will be an informational meeting about the Harper Creek Clay Target Team on Tuesday, November 13th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. in the Harper Creek Library. Coaches will be on hand to answer any questions and to explain the program.
Be careful driving in winter weather. Thanksgiving is less than 2 weeks away. Start thinking about the holiday project and come out tonight to the magic show at 7 p.m.
This is Bobby.
And this is Brendan. Have a great Friday.
Here are some more special segments.
Hi, I'm Alyssa. And I'm Chloe, and our theme for the library this month is National Animal Shelter and Rescue Appreciation Week. We have a lot of books about animals in our library, and you should come check them out. Our game for our theme this month is called Hooked. We have a short pole and a long pole. If you catch a fish with a long pole, you get 1 piece of candy, and if you catch a fish with a short pole, you get 2 pieces of candy, because if you catch a fish with a short pole, it's a lot harder. So good luck, come try it out.
Hi guys, last Thursday, myself and a group of folks from the high school and the middle school all had the opportunity to drive out to the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit to hear Ruby Bridges speak. It was very powerful and inspirational. We had a really, really amazing time listening to this woman tell her story. She was actually one of the first black students to be integrated into white schools in the South during the Civil Rights Movement. She was driven to school every single day, accompanied by 4 U.S. Marshals, got out of a car and walked to school amidst screaming protesters, white protesters who were very, very angry that she was there to go to school with their white children. Can you imagine the bravery it would take for a 6-year-old girl to face this every single day and go to school? And she did. Every single day she showed up. In the beginning of her school year, she was segregated from the rest of the white students who were still allowed to attend the school. Most of the parents had pulled their white children from the school. But she was alone in a classroom with a white teacher who helped her learn every single day, and they bonded and had an amazing relationship, and that was really, really heartwarming to hear about. She was a very, very powerful speaker. She had a quiet power that really, really spoke to us. We had about 50 people go, and it was really an amazing opportunity, and I hope that something like this pops up again in the future and we can bring more people. Thank you.
On November 21st, there will be a dodgeball game held in the gym. It's $10 per team, and the money and sign-ups are due by November 16th on Friday. Anybody is welcome to play, so come out and have fun.
Hey guys, this is Brendan Halverson, Vice President of National Honor Society, and NHS invites you to a special premiere of the Ataxian movie on November 17th, which is a Saturday. It'll be 1:30 in the high school auditorium. The Ataxian movie is a documentary about a man with Friedreich's ataxia who rides his bike across the country in order to raise support and awareness. Admission is free, but popcorn and bake sale and waters will be provided also. We look forward to seeing you there.